And David and Donnie and Adam and Alexis and others have been working with the governments, local, state, and federal, to allow the planting of the seed. It is the only crop that I know of where every product that you can get from this plant, fiber or seed, is legal. And you can consume it, you can transport it, you can export it, import it, you can do anything with it but grow it. So it's asinine. And we are really focusing strictly on getting hemp to be legal to farm in the U.S. The farmers want it. The farmers want it. The politicians understand the issue, but politicians care more about getting reelected than doing the right thing. So we have to build a groundswell of support, which is happening. And very hopefully next year, we'll be able to turn the discussion of industrial hemp into a realistic discussion instead of dealing with the obstacles, the superficial obstacles, of course, that the Bush administration puts on. So I have some brochures here. We are vending. Summer has a booth right behind us with hemp products, hemp samples she's giving away. Dr. Bronner's, I also work for Dr. Bronner's Magic Soaps, who's been instrumental in keeping the hemp industry alive and thriving. And we have a nice big, right, Dr. Bronner's has been great.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Bronner's.
As someone touched on, the DEA tried to shut down the hemp food industry because they can, or thought they could. And the Hemp Industry Association was the plaintiff in a lawsuit that Dr. Bronner funded to take the DEA to court. In a federal court, and we had I think it was a 3-year battle, of which we had to block 2 rulings, win 2 appeals, and had 2 of their appeals of the 2 hearings, and then we had to fight 2 appeals. We basically won 6 decisions. We kicked the DEA's ass in this, and we're continuing to work on different issues to get hemp into the forefront of mainstream commerce.
Dr. Bronner's is working on an organic certification kind of standardization right now, aren't you?
Right. This is
important as well.
It's very important. I mean, there's a lot of, the green economy is starting to catch on to where it's sort of faddish. So a lot of the companies that want to get on board call themselves pure organics, this and that, organic, all natural, and it's BS a lot of the times. So we have been talking to these companies for years, not just hemp companies, mostly not hemp companies, but companies that are fairly big that are touting organic and they're not organic, or they have some organic ingredients, but they also have some petrochemical ingredients. You come to our booth over by the main stage and we have sheets that show the results of different tests. Big companies like Whole Foods, Hanes, Nature's Gate, Jason's, are organic cheaters. And they have been for years, and they've been promising to stop it and to at least allow the public to make an intelligent choice about what they're buying. Just because it's legal to lie. You can say pure organics and not be organic. And this is not right. We don't want the word organic to be as watered down as the word natural. So we finally, out of frustration and as a last resort, have sued these companies and taken them to court. And we're hoping to get them to either fix their products or label the fact that they're not organic and there's danger in the petrochemicals that they use. And in fact, some of the combinations of petrochemicals in these body care products create a carcinogenic ingredient called 1,4-dioxane. So it's dangerous, and the companies, they talk about, well, it's so little, it's totally safe. But there's so little and so many products that it's not totally safe. And so it's very important that when you're buying organic, when you think you're buying organic, you actually are. Well, I guess that's my cue to stop talking.
Yeah, we're going to hop on the hemp train. Thank you so much, Steve. And I can agree with you more. For those of us who try and make informed choices in the products that we purchase, both informed in terms of what we put on our systems or on our bodies, but also in how those products are actually supplied and grown. For example, down in the back, I've been told that they're doing free trade and fairly traded and free traded coffee in the back, which is an amazing selection. So we need to know that we're making the right choices.
And you got to realize that the burden is also on you. You have to read the ingredients. I mean, companies like Dr. Bronner's and several others that are reputable, and they say they're organic and fair trade, you can trust it. But read their labels, and you'll notice you can pronounce everything, and you understand what everything is. And it's up to you to read the labels from companies, all companies. Just because it's in Whole Foods doesn't mean it's clean.
And this year's an election year, and so we actually get to put our names on the ballot, but each and every day when we make decisions on purchasing, that to me is the best way that we ever place our vote as consumers, particularly in a capitalist country. And so making an informed choice is incredibly smart. Today you guys made a choice to be here on a hot sunny day at Hempfest, and we thank you for coming out. David, it wouldn't be a Hempfest unless at least one of our panelists was a little late showing up. So David, David was just 5 minutes late today. I'd like to introduce you, David Frankel from Vote Hemp and the HIA today.
Well, I was on Indian time, and since I'm wearing my Lakota Hemp Project shirt, I felt comfortable representing. I just want to point something out, and that is that the hempsters, quote unquote, have been saying the same thing for 15 years or more. We've been right this whole time. Well, the fact is, I can't say anything about hippies because I know a lot of hippies and there's different kinds of hippies, but I can say I know a lot of hempsters, and the hempsters are right. We've been right this whole time.
Absolutely.
When the hempsters say, hey guys, we should be cutting off of the petrochemical tea, they've been saying it for 15 years. It's not just catching on, it's the fact that it was true then, it's true now. And more people realize it. So I just want to give extreme props to Don and the other pioneers here, and also to Alexis, Adam, and Summer, pushing it forward every single day. It ain't easy. Okay, so when you see them doing something, when they ask you to sign this text, go and sign up for the text thing, it would be really cool to do that, because when they seek a little support, they're really asking for it when they need it to apply the maximum pressure for the most leverage, for the best result for everybody. And it's just, I so encourage you to just do that little thing. You know, I'll give a little quote here from Arlo Guthrie. I saw him about 25 years ago, and he said, then it was true, it's even more true now. He said, folks, things aren't that great out there, but it has never been easier for someone to do so little and have it mean so much to so many. So we do that, right? So on the Indian project, the Indians call hemp, Lakota for hemp is it's a great word. It's Wahuptiska Prajuta. Wahuptiska Prajuta. That means white medicine root plant. White root medicine plant. Wahuptiska Prajuta. And they knew for a long time that this was a medicine plant, that it had a lot of medicinal qualities. In the 1890s, the Secretary of the Navy, who later became President Buchanan, sent a guy named David Meyerly through Indian country, spreading hemp seeds all around, trying to get the Indians to grow hemp. And later, much later, there was some law review articles about hemp. A good friend of ours, Tom Blanco, wrote one in 1995, and picking up on where Don had been bringing in just those early containers and 1-800-BUY-HEMP. And some of those people up at Pine Ridge said, hey, we're the second poorest county in the country. We have 89% unemployment. Could this hemp help us? Absolutely. So they passed it through, and of course that created a whole sovereignty challenge, a federal case. It's a case that I worked on along with some other people. It was supported by the hemp industry in general and a lot of allies, and we took it to the 8th Circuit, where a 70-something-year-old Republican judge said, quote, I think it's asinine that you can import this stuff from Canada and you can't grow it here and our farmers are cut out of it. I think it's asinine. Which is about all you can get out of a 70-something-year-old Republican judge sitting on the federal appeals court. And that is all we did get, and he said, well, we're really sorry, go to Congress, and that's why Alexis and Adam's work in Washington is so important, and Votehead's work is so important, because they said go to Washington, and we did, and that's what we've been doing ever since. I just want to point out from my perspective, and I'll sort of turn it over to any questions, but you know, we're involved in a cultural war here, whether we like it or not.